He giving you the signal now.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Let's Talk About It. I'm your host, Ron Cunningham. And as usual, I'd like to thank Mr. Rocco Strangio's media class for producing this show. They do an excellent job, and we have a beautiful black box studio here that you can do many things. So my show is called Let's Talk About It, and that's what we're going to do today. And as usual, I'd like to thank the Board of Education, Niagara Falls Board of Education, and all the agencies that did such a great job in promoting our youth and giving out scholarships. And I'll be talking about that in my next segment. But right now, I'm going to talk to a legendary, an incomparable guy that's done a lot of things for the youth in our city, none other than Mr. Wayne Ollison,
Hey, Ron.
President and Commissioner for the Cataract Youth Cheering football team, right?
That is correct.
Cataract.
That is correct, yes.
Yeah, I took a note on that, man. But
Right.
I was more impressed about the youth and what they're doing and what you're doing with them.
Okay.
And I just want to talk about the banquet I attended.
Okay.
What day was that on? You remember?
January 10th and January 11th, we have two separate banquets. We have a number of kids in our program, over 200 kids. So, and then with the parents and everyone coming, there was about 200 people at each banquet. The hall only holds about 220, so we had to split it up into two separate days.
I was there.
Okay.
At both banquets.
I know, I saw
I'm
you
one of
there.
the sponsors for your organization.
Yes.
I'm very proud of it. And it's a mixed organization. It's all black. It's all Puerto
we have
Puerto
a lot of
Ricans,
different
blacks, white folks, all of them, and they were having a ball.
Yes.
And one of the things I want to say that impressed me most was when the kids got up to get their awards. They said, "Thanks, coach."
Right.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And you don't see that a lot. Young kids showing appreciation.
Right. Well, I think what happens is the volunteers, first of all, we all are volunteers. Nobody's getting paid to be out there. It's a lot of work. And I think that the coaches and the volunteers that I have surrounded myself with to help make the program as successful as it is, we try to teach the kids the values of being respectful. So saying thank you and please and carrying themselves a certain kind of way. We want them to know that these are the things that they can carry on with them as they proceed through life and be great young men and women in the community.
I sat there mesmerized at the students. Thanks, coach. And they sat down. They got up. They had the parents there, and you had a lot of parents there, man, which is sort of unusual. You had a lot of parents there.
Well, now it was a lot of parents there. However, we're still looking for more parents to get involved. One of the things that we struggle with the program that we have is that the majority of the young men and women that come through our program usually come from single-family households. So what you might have saw was a lot of parents. You didn't see as many dads and stuff there as we would like to see, but we're trying to continue to stress the importance that we want more people to get involved. We want the parents to come out and support the kids and be there to be able to see the kids so that they continue to see the growth from their kids as they proceed through the program.
Yeah. And I want to say this, they were well behaved, well mannered. And I know that takes a lot of work. And your team, man, was just out there. They knew every kid, man, all about them. That's a good thing. Well, now I understand you've been doing something over 20 years. 20 years?
Well, I've been doing this for 32 years. So back in 1990, my youngest son was playing. His name was Rome Harris. And I was out there just watching him being a normal dad. And the coach at the time, Steve Pandapino, rest in peace, and also Bob Fink, rest in peace. They were the coaches of the Honey All-Stars at the time. And they asked me that I want to get involved, and I said, no, I'm good. I just want to come out and support my son. The following year, back in 1990, I finally said yes. And I've been coaching and since then, and I've been the president and the commissioner for the program for the past 16 years. Took a little bit of time off to support my own children as they were going through high school and college, and then just recently came back, and I'm now on another 5-year stint. So that's kind of how I got involved.
Well, you're really involved. 'Cause I see you out there with those kids, man,
Yeah.
and your coaches. But why did you get involved with the Cataract football team?
Well, the reason I got involved was not just trying to be a parent to my own child who at the time was playing out there. I kind of wanted to try to lead by example. I wanted to try to let the kids know that I noticed a lot of them didn't have father figures out there. And I was asking myself, how could I make a difference to some of these young men? And I have cheerleading coaches, but mostly young men's lives is who I deal with. I have cheerleading coaches who coach the ladies. But I wanted to kind of be out there to give them a message about doing what's right and doing the things that they need to be doing in school, in the community, and just kind of let them know that there's somebody else out there that they could look up to try to guide them in the right direction.
As truancy officer for the Niagara Falls City School District, I work with Charles Searcy and Lomax Barnes and Rhonda Bivens. Rhonda Bivens Talley, she's married now.
That's right.
I just want to say to you, what is your, why did you get involved with this kind of thing? And then after that, we'll know what's your mission statement?
Well, I think again, the reason I got involved is because I want to try to guide the kids and help channel them through the right path. I want to try to surround them with good volunteers, coaches that come out there, and we're all preaching the same message, everything about, making sure that you're doing the right thing in the community. As for our mission statement is to try to, teach the young men and women the fundamentals of football and cheerleading, making sure that we combine that with making sure they're having excellence in school. It's the reason that I took this opportunity to come here and speak to you here at the Niagara Falls High School in the Black Box, is because I want the message to get out to the kids that it's not just about athletics, but it's also about, keeping their grades up and making sure they're doing the right thing in school, because that's the number one important thing is getting an education. As
the truancy officer for the Niagara Falls City School District, we talked about, and we're doing it now, tying in the football players with the school district. And one of the things that we came up with was that they have to have good attendance in school to all to play football.
Right.
And I'll tell you that they're very interested in playing. As one guy I know had a hard time keeping going to school, but once he found I knew you and the coach, all of a sudden he's coming to school on a regular basis.
I remember that day. I remember that night very vividly. I don't often see you showing up to the football field at 7 o'clock at night, but it just goes as a tribute to you and what you're trying to do for these young men as well. Most people go home at 5 o'clock and quit working, but here it is at 7 o'clock at night. You're walking out to the football field trying to find out, why this kid ain't coming to school, and you realize that he played for Cataract, so you said, okay, let me call Wayne Ollison up. I'm gonna show up out here, and I'm gonna get Wayne to help us straighten this out. And I think we did that. We got we got his parents involved, we got his coach involved, and we told him, if you miss any more school, you're not gonna be able to play out here. So we want to work with the school, and we want to make sure that the school has our support, because we know the school supports us as well, and make sure that these kids are going to school, because that's the ultimate goal for us, is to make sure they get education. You fed over 200 people each day on the 10th and 11th. Where does the money come? How do you get that kind of money? I mean, I'm a sponsor too, but where does the bulk of the money come from? Well, the bulk of the money comes from, the registration costs. Now, what our registration costs, we realize that within our community that most of these parents can't afford to pay $200 for their kids to play football. So what we do is we offer a way for them to be able to get their money back. We have raffle tickets that they sell, and when they sell the raffle tickets, they get all their money back, okay? So that way they're not out of any pocket expenses, okay? And then we have our little concession stand where we sell French fries, hot dogs, hamburgers, and that kind of stuff. And that kind of keeps the boat afloat a little bit. But for the most part, everything that we take in, we give back to the kids. You saw the size of the trophies, the amount of the food,
wait a minute, there were
all that kind of stuff.
A couple kids had trophies bigger than them.
Right, yeah.
Well, I went back to the seat. But
we do give out some 3-foot, some 4-foot, 5-foot trophies.
There was nice trophies. There was no jokes.
And we believe in just trying to reward the kids. But the one thing is that no matter, every kid walks away with a trophy with something.
Wow.
And this year we had a couple teams that went undefeated, so a few kids walked out with some championship rings, some championship medallions, and a couple different trophies and stuff like that. Well, the coaches, we have to chip in a little bit because, again, Cataract, we're a nonprofit organization, and so we don't get a lot of funding. We're not part of any grants or anything like that. So everything we get is just through our elbow, working in the concession stand, and it's our registration costs, that kind of stuff there. I seen you out there, man, and those guys work with those kids. Right. They work with them, man, and I'm glad that somebody's working with our youth, because I'm very proud of what you're doing. Right. Now, how do they sign up for Little League football? Well, so we are having a couple of sign-up periods. Our first sign-up period is going to be March 22nd this year from 12 until 3 p.m. at Sammy's Pizzeria on Hyde Park Boulevard in Niagara Falls. Again, the cost of that is $200, but you get all of your money back once you sign up. You sell your raffle tickets, all your money you'll get back there. That helps buy the uniforms, the helmets, the equipment that try to keep our kids safe. We put all our kids in Riddell. Sorry, I'm giving a little shout out to Riddell, but we buy Riddell, which we feel is the best equipment to keep our kids in, to try to keep our boys safe while they're out there on the field. And that's how you can, that's when our next sign up will be. It'll see it posted throughout social media and different platforms like that. So March 22nd, Sammy's Pizzeria on Hyde Park Boulevard from 12 until 3. And if anybody's interested, there'll be flyers that we put up through the school, and you can always contact, me at any time on social media, or just give me a call, 716-940-0262, and I'll be glad to answer any questions in regards to signing kids up for football and girls up for cheerleading. Okay, Ron?
Well, here's this I'm going to say to you. As I sit here and think, people aren't really like they used to show interest in kids.
Right.
And I seen you guys out there working, and you got a cheerleading team, the whole shebang.
Right.
And that really pleased me. Now, tell me, how could others help?
Well, we're always looking for volunteers. Again, as I said before, we're a nonprofit organization. None of our coaches get paid, so we're looking for more parents to get involved. You don't have to have a child involved with the program. You can just come out there and say you want to, help the kids. We're looking for cheerleading coaches. We're looking for coaches. We're looking for people to help in the concession stand. If you know how to cook a hamburger, a hot dog, French fries, chicken fingers, stuff like that, we're looking for people to help in the concession stand. People can hold the chains on game day. We're looking for people to get on the sideline and hold the chains. I mean, it's a long day. We're out there from 8 o'clock in the morning.
What's that all about?
The down markers. So you hold the down markers like they do on NFL, college games, everything. You got to have somebody hold the down markers,
I mean, that was a good game.
And stuff like that. So we're looking for people to get involved. So there's many things that people can do if they just are interested in getting involved and helping our youth, and give them something positive to do to keep them out the streets.
Well, you're certainly doing something positive.
Yeah.
And I just was sold on the fact that they were so well behaved.
Yeah.
There's a lot of food they ate. And they got appetites. You must
right.
pretty hard.
We always do buffet style. We want to make sure that the kids get a proper proper meal. We want to make sure everybody's full. And Niagara University, shout out to them. They take very good care of us there, and they do a really good job of making sure that we have more than enough food to feed the kids, because those kids did have some good appetites that day.
I seen them. Yeah, take a weightlifter to carry the plates. So you raise money through the parents sponsor the kids by selling the raffle tickets.
Yep.
When they sell enough of them, then they get their money back.
Right. Yep.
Wow, that's a great.
You don't want anybody to be out their money, right? It's hard times now, and it's only going to get worse, right? But if you go to a parent, you say, hey, it's going to pay $200. Mom want to play football, it's going to cost me $200, right? Then mom may have to pay the phone bill or the cable bill or something, right? So they're saying, no, I'm sorry, you can't play. But if mom knows she can pay that money and she's going to get every penny of that money back, then we can get more kids involved. So
money is really not taken from the household.
Money's not taken from the household. We make sure that they have an opportunity now to get every single penny of their money back. So if you pay $200, you get 200 raffle tickets that you sell. When you sell those raffle tickets, you keep the money. So you're not out of any money. No money's come out of the household, because we're not trying to do that.
Well, I've got a lot of friends, and I've been hitting on them because I'm going to have them to come to the games when you have them. When's your game start?
So we have two things. Last year was our first year of flag football. So we have flag football. That's going to start and run from April until June, okay? Sign-ups for flag football will also be on March 22nd at Sammy's Pizzeria. You can sign up for flag. That's co-ed. That's boys and girls flag football. And we have tackle football. Those sign-ups will also be on the same day, Ron. That's going to be
same day?
March 22nd as well. You know, and that's co-ed as well. Boys and girls can play tackle football as well. So we've been getting a lot of feedback from the community.
You got girls playing football too out there?
We do, yes, we do, yeah.
They play with other girls or boys, or they play with
No, they
other
play with
girls?
the boys. They play with the boys.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. So there's girls, and throughout our league, there's a few girls throughout the environment. There's more girls playing flag, which is why we got into it. But we do have a couple of girls in our tackle program, and they actually pretty good. We don't have some good girls come through there. You know what I'm saying? Throughout the time, you know.
Well, I know one thing. Some of the kids that I was with, I found to play for you guys, they start coming to school more often too.
Right.
You know, if you want your kid to graduate, he needs to show up.
Yeah.
He has to be there to earn his diploma. So I'm glad you got something that motivates the youth to come out and do what they have to do.
Well, I appreciate what you do. Being a truant officer, I think that is essential because, again, as I said, you got a truant officer showing up to a football field at 7 o'clock at night when I know he wasn't on the clock.
I know I was not on the clock.
But that goes to show the love that you have for that young man that you was trying to get him changed around. And then as soon as he realized that we were connected,
he's coming.
he knew that, okay, if Ryan come out there and tell Coach Wayne that this kid ain't coming to school, Coach Wayne gonna tell this kid he can't play football, and so I'm glad that we can work together to channel that energy, you know. And I also just want to say, you know, we've been blessed enough, and I've been blessed enough to be able to have coached some very successful young men and women, and it ain't all about always making it to the professional ranks, but I do have to say that, you know, during my tenure, you know, I was able to coach James Starks, who was drafted by the Green Bay Packers. He went on to win a Super Bowl with the Green Bay Packers, a phenomenal young man. But the one thing that these three young men that I'm going to speak about and mention that they all had in common was academics. All of them went to school. All of them, you know, went to college. And I just want other young men that's looking at these guys. The other young man is Johnny Flynn. You know, Johnny Flynn played football for me for a couple of years.
Oh,
but
you had training on that.
He played football for a couple of years. People don't know that. And was very good. Was my quarterback, was a linebacker for me, and went on to play and get drafted by the NBA Minnesota Timberwolves, you know. And then obviously I have my own child, my own son, Wayne Ollison. You know, he got drafted by the Atlanta Falcons, played in the NFL for 5 years, and recently,
that's a long
5
time.
years, and he recently just signed a contract to play in the Canadian Football League this year, so he'll be playing over in Canada this year for the BC Lions. But beyond them, there's other successful people that have done things. You know, I've coached a couple, and I don't want to get their names, but I coached a couple of police officers, guys that play for me that I see now, and they're wearing a badge, and it makes me proud to see them out there, and I don't want to put their names out there because I want to respect their privacy, but, you know, I have 3 police officers that I coached on the force, you know what I'm saying? And I got some nurses out there, so we try to do a good job, and we're proud of those young men that have came through our ranks and are now doing things. So it ain't just about making it to the pros. You can be a respectable business person and a law enforcement officer and different things as well. So we're proud of what we accomplished with our kids.
Well, I seen 2 full houses of parents, uncles, and the youth out there for 2 days.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. And the food was good too, by the way. And so I just want to take my hat off to you. But how many kids do you have in the program, total, roughly?
Okay, so each year we have anywhere from 200 to 250 kids in our program. That's boys and girls. Our ages are 5 to 14, boys and girls. So that's our tackle program. Each football team can house about 40 kids per team, and we're usually pretty much maxed out, and we usually have to send kids to other programs because our rosters are always full. And then our cheerleading program is successful now. We have some young coaches that have gotten involved. You know, one of them actually, you know, goes to school here at the high school. You know, Jayza, she's done a phenomenal job with helping coach our, you know, 8 and 9-year-old team, the All-Stars. And then we have, you know, I don't want to mention all of them, but Jordan, she's kind of heading up now. Jordan Birch, she's taking over our cheerleading program for us. So our cheerleading program is now headed in the right direction. We got some great people, great young girls out there, and I think it helps the girls when they see somebody that's young and in high school. So even if you're out there, if you're listening, if you're in high school, you're playing football, you're a cheerleader coach or somebody, you know, we want you to come out and help. We can put you with the younger kids to help the younger girls out. So you don't have to be an adult to get involved. You just have to be someone that cares about kids and want to give back, Ron.
Well, tell you what, I'm going to say to you, those kids one of the first group of kids that I was really impressed with.
Right.
I said, Wayne, I want to this. So I talked to Mr. Mark Laurie, superintendent of schools, and he was very impressed with it after I told him. I mean, you had a mixed group of kids, and you had a lot of parents and significant others in the group.
Right.
And the food was good too.
Right.
But aside
like
from
that
that,
chicken,
yeah,
the fried chicken.
yeah,
Yeah.
food was good, and they were very mannerly too, and that's what impressed me. So I haven't given up hope on our young people.
Well, we can't give up
guys
hope
like
on our
you,
young people, right?
Standing in the gap, they
Right.
will be successful.
Right. Well, we have to do that, Ron. And I know before we get done, I also want to, I know you mentioned Mr. Lowry, and I want to just say that, I work hand in hand with the school superintendent, Mr. Lowry, and also the athletic director, Joe Contento.
Yes. Good men.
And I want to say, thank both of them, gentlemen, for what they do for our program. We play on the best youth football field in the state. Right, we're probably only one or two.
You travel around sometimes?
Well, we travel local, and I was saying when we travel, we go to Lackawanna, we'll go to Cheektowaga, but we don't go out of state to play like some other teams do. But what I want to say is that I've been around to a lot of different places. We play on a turf football field, and that's huge, especially with the weather conditions and things that we have here up in West New York. But there's nothing that I don't ask Mr. Contento or Mr. Lowry for that they don't provide for our our program, and I'm very thankful that I have a partnership with them, and they've done a real good job. They're taking real good care. So I want to send a big thank you to Mr. Mark Lowry and Mr. Joe Contento for what you guys do for our children.
Tell us a little bit about your background, Wayne. I remember you drive the big 2-ton truck.
Yeah.
Your dad used to show you how to drive it.
Right.
We lived on the same block.
Right.
On 6th and Erie.
Yeah. So again, you know me from before I was even born, so you kind of got the inside scoop about everything about me. But I will just say this here, my mom and dad were, blue collar, people. They raised us the right way.
Yes.
We grew up back in a time where if we weren't doing the right thing, people like yourself, Cozell, Knuckles, those are the men
Chuck
that I
Boyer,
looked up
all of
to. Chucky Boyer, these are the men that I looked up to when I was growing up, when I was going to the community centers and the boys club. You guys were all no-nonsense guys, and I knew that if any of you guys contacted my dad, and told him that Wayne wasn't doing something right, that
your dad was a good guy, though.
Things weren't going to be right.
Yeah.
So I kind of think that's what I'm trying to simulate is how my dad raised me, was to be respectful and respect everybody
Your dad was
else.
quite a sports enthusiast too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he loved sports.
Yeah.
So listen to me. I hope to see you attend as many of those banquets I can attend.
Right.
I'm gonna try to raise a little money to keep this thing going.
Okay.
It's a great thing. I've got the list, the roster.
Yeah.
Here
there's
of
no
all
secrets.
the students.
That's right. All the kids
And
for
I'll be
Cataract.
checking the truancy. If they
I just
turn in
gave
and all that, then
Yep,
I'll
you
let
got
you
all
know.
your names on the paper there. So if you guys ain't coming to school,
Yeah.
he's gonna reach out to Coach Wayne, and if you guys ain't going to school, you're not gonna be playing. And stuff. So, but yeah, you're more than welcome to come to any of our banquets, our games. Again, as we move into our season, I'll make sure you're aware of the games. We like to get you guys to come out and maybe even film some of the games
we have
and stuff like that.
Mr. Rocco Strangio will sometimes fill a game for us.
Well, just come out
and then you can see when they're making a
kids.
mistake because he does the city hall. Is that right? He does the city hall and everything. And the sporting events for the high school.
Well, yeah, like we'll say. Well,
now,
again,
tell us about this, Wayne.
How
do they?
So again, this is
hold it up over
right
there.
there. Okay, so this is our next sign up for Cataract Youth Football and Cheerleading. As I mentioned, it's going to be March 22nd from 12 until 3 at Sammy's Pizzeria on Hyde Park Boulevard. The cost is $200 for boys and girls, and this is for tackle. Okay, the $200 for tackle. If you're only interested in flag football.
What do you mean by tackle? That's for boys that actually.
That's for putting equipment on the helmet and shoulder pads and tackling.
Okay.
But flag football is non-equipment. You're just pulling a flag. That's only $50 for flag football.
Okay.
But again, Sammy's Pizzeria on March 22nd from 12 to 3. It's $200. You get all your money back once you sell your raffle tickets. We don't want you to be out of any money. We don't want to take any money out of a household. So, again, you get all your money back once you sell your raffle tickets.
As you ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, he's a very eloquent guy. And so I'm very happy that you came on the program.
Well, I'm very happy that you invited me.
First guest on for Black History Month.
I'm the first guest for Black History Month?
Yeah.
Well, hey, listen, as we lead into that segment about Black History Month, you know,
that's right.
I'm also going to be one of several honorees that are going to be recognized for Black History Month on February 22nd at the Fire Hall in town of Niagara there.
Okay.
So there's about 8 people.
I might be on vacation. I got a special vacation.
That's
there.
okay,
but
man.
But Mark, my brother, one of them will be representing me there.
Well, I just think it's a great accomplishment
Yeah.
that the more people that we can get involved in these type of events and the more that we can appreciate, it kind of, you know, people like yourself led me to be the type of person I am.
Yeah, I remember
and I mentioned you, I mentioned Cozell, I mentioned Knuckles, I mentioned Chucky Boy, right? All you guys were very instrumental in me seeing a positive male figure as I was growing up.
You made some good men, those guys.
And I'm trying to give a few of those kids that I'm coaching now, I want them to look up to me many, many years from now and be able to say that, you know, Coach Wayne was a positive role model, a positive influence in my life, and hopefully, you know, do the right things. So I appreciate you being a role model, not just my life, but all these men's life, because you've done a lot for our community. You've done a lot for my life and my family's life, and it's good just to be able to sit here and talk to you right now.
I have another personal question.
Okay.
I'm going to buy one of those shirts.
You don't got to buy no shirt, man. We'll give you a shirt. We'll get you one.
Well, those are nice, man. Niagara Falls, that's nice.
Hey, Ernie got one. Now, you know, listen, now, we can't leave this segment without talking about, before we leave.
Oh, my son announced it.
We got to talk about Ernie the announcer.
Talk about it, man.
Now,
Talk
listen,
about it.
I'm going to tell y'all this right now.
Okay.
Now, listen, he turned Cataract to a whole nother level. Now, he helped me get Cataract to another level.
Yeah.
Just by announcing the games and how he carried himself. He was wanted by all the organizations, Ron. They would call and say, hey.
Well, you like family, though.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He said, I ain't leaving. I can't go nowhere. He said, y'all go talk to Wayne. You know, he the CEO. He called me the CEO. But serious point, he would announce the games, and he made all the kids feel special. He had a knack, and he had a special talent. And you know how he is. He's a comedian, but on that football field,
his mother was funny.
He made it fun.
I'm somewhat funny, but his mother was funny. And he took it up to her. And he runs with it. And, and I'm going to get Kevin Dog out there, too, one of his days.
Right. Well, again, I just want to say we can't leave without saying hi to my boy Ernie, man. We miss you. Wish you was here. You know how important you were to that program. For 7 years, he was out there, man, calling the games. And when he left and moved on to Vegas and everything, everybody missed him. They always asked about him.
You know how he started, Wayne? I remember running the Monte Carlo. I had to count the money and everything. He said, Dad, I said, hey, man, go host the thing. Go host that. Let me get my money.
Right.
You
go count that money.
Yeah. So go over there. And then he started announcing.
Right.
And then one day I went to one of the things. He did a thing on cancer. I said, wow, that's my boy.
Right.
I kept busy, man. You know?
Right.
But he's
doing a phenomenal job, man. And again, he's very instrumental in what we did here. And again, I know as we close up, I just want to say thank you for having me on the show here.
My pleasure.
Let's talk about it.
This will be your last visit.
I'm welcome to come back anytime, man. I love talking about doing positive things and helping kids come up and all that kind of stuff. There.
Maybe one of the girls from the cheerleading division, we get them to come on.
Yeah, now who's that guy back there talking right there?
I don't know. He's a skeleton, man. That's up there for Halloween.
I'm talking on the TV right there.
Yeah. He's Oh, that's his eye. Okay.
That's the old one, ain't it?
Yeah, that's the one that I did before. Yeah. As a coach, I'm on a Black History program today. Okay.
Yeah. Look at you
Our
over there.
schools. All right.
Yeah.
And I want to say one thing, man.
Yes, sir.
This has been fun.
Yes, it has been fun.
And this cataract situation here, I'm gonna call my friends. All of them, I'm gonna all come in and help out down there when you need some help.
Yeah.
But I just tell you one thing. I want to congratulate your staff, your team, because I see them, man, work with the kids, man.
Yeah.
And they did it. They knew the kids well. They could just verbatim, there was no scripts or nothing. It went smooth.
Right.
And so I just want to tell you.
You're only as strong as the people that are around you, and I can honestly say that, the volunteers and the people that I've surrounded myself with out there are very instrumental into the success of Cataract. So I get a lot of the limelight because I'm in front of the camera because I'm the president commissioner, but you're only as good as the people behind you, and I just want to thank all my volunteer coaches, volunteer cheerleading coaches, all the people that help out at Cataract. Hey, you guys all know who you are. I don't want to start mentioning all no names, but we'll all catch up and continue to make sure that we're doing the right thing for our kids.
And I want to say one thing. I want to send a shout out to Keenan. Keenan happens to be his son.
Right.
He's done his undergraduate work.
Right.
Now he's going into, tell us about that.
Yeah, so my youngest son, Keenan, he came up through the ranks of Cataract. He played all the way through, and then he went on to graduate from Alfred University. He played at Alfred University, got his bachelor's degree, and he's currently now working to get his doctorate as a chiropractor. So he goes to Northeast Health Science School there. And, again, I'm just proud of, all my kids. They all grew up and they all are doing positive things. And, my son Wayne has his own little, transportation, for medical transportation thing going on. My son Quadri's playing again. My daughter Brittany, she's
doing great.
Got her bachelor's degree in nursing as a registered nurse. She's working over at one of the hospitals in Buffalo. So I've been blessed, and again, I can't take all the credit. You have a say in this because you helped raise me the right way, and I can't say thank you enough.
But guess what?
We
have a lot of sheroes and heroes, and you guys one of the heroes.
Yes, sir.
A lot of sheroes. That was our mothers, and my aunts and cousins and all that.
Yes, sir.
And I'll tell you one thing now I want the people out there to understand. Strong families build strong communities.
Right.
Got to keep that in mind.
Yes,
and
sir.
you're building strong families by getting the guys occupied, getting them on the right track, and keeping them productive.
Yes, sir.
So with that, Wayne, I want to thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
And this will be your last visit.
All right. Well, have me as any time. We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Okay. And to all the people out there, keep hope alive, stop the jive, keep hope alive, and get our youth on the right track. So thank you.
And sign up for Cataract. Come on out, help these kids out. We're looking for volunteers, coaches, parents. Even if you're in the high school, you want to get involved helping the kids out, we're looking for volunteers. So, again, you want to get involved, give me a call, 716-940-0262. I don't mind putting my number out there. I want everybody to call. I'm looking for more people to get involved. So thank you again, Ron, for giving me this platform.
And what's the age groups you're working with?
Kids are 5 to 14-year-olds, boys and girls.
That's a nice spread.
Yeah, so we try to get them at 5, and we try to keep them in our program for about 8 years. So we get them at 5, and we send them out at 13.
But you're doing it.
Well, we're going to do it. Yeah, we try to make sure. That's how we know we're successful, right? If you can get a kid at 5 and he's still sticking around till he's 13, that means you're doing something right because they keep coming back. And that's how you know if you're winning.
That's right.
You keep coming back.
That's right. And I want to tell you right now that this won't be your last visit.
Okay.
And I want you to know that I'm doing all I can in my power, and I get all my friends involved to help you out any way we can.
Okay. Well, we appreciate any help we can get.
Here's a man that's often imitated but never duplicated, the legendary Wayne Ollison. Thank you for coming on the show, man.
Thank you for having me. We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All right.
All right.
That wraps it up.
Thank you.